Hey everybody, it's Cinnamon Cooney, your Art Sherpa, and today we are continuing on our Acrylic April journey. It's all about abstract this April, so it's abstract acrylic April. It's a very like little rhymey sing-songy. On the mic is my husband John.
Hello.
I am going to break down how you can create this abstract painting yourself at home with me. There are extra information in the description below. If you open it up, you can see the materials, everything I use. There's a link to our website. On our website, you can buy these materials or you can find them elsewhere or just use what you have. All of that is fine. There's also school and a book, but this video is more than one and done. You can do this from this. I definitely recommend, if you just decided to do this abstract, to check out the whole month-long daily painting program, because daily painting is transformative and we do this every year. Is this our fifth year?
Gosh, I think it may be.
It might be our fifth year of painting every day for April together, and every year has a theme. This year's theme is abstract. So get your paint, get your canvas, and the other tools we're using today. Come back, and I'm going to show you for real how you absolutely can paint this for yourself. So we have an 8x8 surface here today. Burnt Sienna, Cad Red Medium, Cad Yellow Medium, Cad Yellow. This is lemon yellow Hansa. This one's always so hard for me to say. It's lemon yellow Hansa. Quinacridone Magenta, Ultramarine Blue, Titanium White. And know this, any yellow light, lemon yellow, Hansa yellow light, it will work here. We're just looking for this very green biased yellow. So that's why we have it there. I'm going to be starting out with a 1-inch Princeton little round blender. Let's throw it a step and we'll just begin. Let's get on into this. All right, so I'm going to get my brush very lightly damp, wipe it off on a paper towel, and I'm going to come over here with some white into my yellow. I'm going to get a hint of pink, as you do. And I'm going to begin just brushing that out. Very light color here, right? This is super pastel, light, barely there color. If you need to get a little water on there, you can. Just be sure you have control over it, you know, as you're going, because it's really easy to have it get away from you. And come into my kind of purple here, which is my Ultramarine Blue and my Quinacridone. I can always come in and get white onto my brush. I'm using this oval mop because it's very soft and it's synthetic, right? And it's going to let me do this blended effect really well. See how the white just really kind of lightened that out?
Yeah.
I'm going to just lighten that out through here. Very light mixing. I'm going to go back into here. Let's get a little of our ultramarine blue and our burnt sienna, which makes that delicious gray. A little more brown. Just going along here. And again, I might get just a little of the ultramarine. Interestingly enough, what I don't normally do, which is a green with the ultramarine, but I want just a hint of green. See how that's just a hint of it? And just blending that lightly, super all around. It's just a very light blend all around. I'm going to use my towel to sort of, dust this off. And very lightly come over this. Make sure it's fairly blended and soft diffused together, because we're trying to get a very soft diffused sort of feeling about everything. I'm going to get a little of my lemon yellow and my white here. kind of come in the center with this yellow. See how we're doing? A little bit of this strong yellow in the center. And then I'm going to pull down. So blend it in the center, pull down. Let's get a lot more white on the brush. Okay, now I'm going to rinse this out, put this to the side. We're going to dry everything, and I'm going to show you the next layer where we create another little subtle touch above this. Soft, pastel, subtle, light peach. So I want to keep smoking this out, and that's very much how I kind of want to think about it. I want it to have a smoke effect. I'm going to go ahead and get my brush just a little bit damp. Come back into my white and load that in nicely. I'm going to come here and smoke out or lighten up even some of this light lemon yellow here with the white. It's not painting it out, but it's definitely creating kind of a light spot in there, isn't it? Now, I can come in and take a little of my Cad yellow and my Cad red, and that's going to make this really great orange. And because it's going into white, it's going to sherbet out. And I'm going to sort of curl up and back my brush stroke. It's working wet into wet, and I'm keeping the values very light. I'm keeping everything a very light value. Maybe pull that down just a bit. Soften that right here. I really like that. Get back into that lemon yellow with my white. Just a really fun, unexpected place to go. Now I'm going to rinse out. You can see it's pasteling even more.
It really is. It's super nice.
This is the architecture, the ground that's going to make the palette knife work really kind of dramatic. This is one of those pieces, like I'm going to show you how to do it on the nice 8x8, but it's going to look amazing bigger. Okay, I'm going to create a little violet here. Definitely going to get a little more white into it. I need a little more water on there. I'll grab it. Just keeping that soft. The brush does help me keep it soft. Adding a little white. And then maybe going a little more blue. Go a little more white if it gets too vibrant. All right. That's looking good, but there's kind of a harder edge there than I would like. So I'm going to rinse this out, and I got to smoke that out. I'm going to take my white. Blending wet into wet. Really soften that out. Can you see us softening it out? Adding some water into that white, which will help its blending. See, that stops being that hard edge, which we don't want. Oh, I like that little blue kiss right there. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And again, we want it soft and diffused. This is great practice for those blended backgrounds and skies that can be so challenging. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my purple over here into my brown. I want it to smoke, but just a little bit richer. So I'm going to add a little water. And a little more white. I get it right into that purple brown. That's such a good, there we go. Kind of up and down there, and I want to take away that. A little pinker on this side. Now, luckily, we have this sort of palette knife work in the center. It's going to kind of help us hide some of our edges. We're getting there. We're getting there. Come in and sort of blend that out to the side and see how we're doing. So it's there, but we're just blending a bit. I love using the white as a way to smoke it out. Tinting it out. Now, if I have a dry brush, what I can do is I can come here and soften this even further, see?
Yeah.
This is that same brush, it's just dry. And that does let me, again, soften some of that out. So what I have here are these very subtle shifts in color. I have a bright center right here. You know, I've got this sort of smoky, deep down low, and some fun, playful colors through here. So let's rinse those brushes and put those aside because we don't want to leave acrylic paint on anything that we love. We're going to dry this thoroughly and when we come back, I'm going to show you what's next. So now we get to do the fun stuff, which is the artist knife. I am going to be using my little trowel here. You can use a diamond head or a trowel, whichever is completely fine. And I'm going to begin by taking a little of my Ultramarine Blue and mixing this with my burnt sienna. You can see it's going to make kind of a darker gray. This is still darker than I want for this painting, so I'm going to add a little white to it. And I've got white put to the side because I will be absolutely lightening and lightening and lightening colors, tinting, tinting, tinting. So you're going to see me come here and scrape, loading that like right side bead. All right, and come here and I'm going to get a little more white into there. All right, like that a lot. Come here and a little bit of the burnt sienna is on here. Come down, scraping down on the other side. Just a lighter color. Might get a little bit of my cad red into this. Subtle though, right? A little yellow. And I want to thoroughly mix it. You can see how I do that. Scrape, 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 and I press down. I'm pulling that in. Very light mixes. I've got the bead again loaded on my right, and I'm going to bring a couple across. Vertical, and then maybe again down. And I'm going to wipe off my brush thoroughly. I may put out some more white because honestly, we go through a lot of this for this painting. And again, I think just generally we can expect to go through twice as much of it's a little more diamond. I'm going to pull my diamond out. So this is a diamond and this is a trowel. And I like a diamond. Just had to locate my diamond. So I'm going to use my diamond. Pull a little white over here and get my very bright lemon yellow Hansa in there. Just working that down, pulling that down, that light center. Scrape that down. Gonna grab a little of the pink here. Some cad yellow. Get some great kind of unexpected peachy oranges going.
I like the texture with this one.
I'm gonna bring a little vertical. Going to scrape off and reload. Oh, that's nice. Bring that there. Just pull that down. Get a little bit of our cad red into this. And then maybe a little more cad yellow. There we go. Pop a little bit of that in there. That's kind of exciting. Cross, touch. I want it to be more structural than that, and I like how that touches right there. That looks really good on that. But again, see, we're not doing a very dark piece. I'm going to want to wipe this off. Let's call this a step so we're not getting overwhelmed in the knife work and continue on. We don't need to dry because we're going to be over on the other side. But we're going to just want to separate this up for you guys mentally in what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead and get a little more blue on here. Quinacridone, right? We're thinking in the purples. Let's get some purple happening. I love finding that purple in there. I'm going to tap this down. That was the right load with a pull down.
You know, it's funny, when I looked away, I thought that white splotch in the middle was a reflection of light on the canvas. So it just sort of looks like this spray of light.
Well, and that's really what that's about, isn't it? Is these things
Kind of plays with you.
It does. It totally messes with you and plays with you. Getting that purple over to my brown. That's kind of exciting. Come across here. Kind of bring that little thought up. Pull up into the blue and white, kind of into a gray, further into a gray, right? And I like the structure of it a bit here, centered in. There is a lovely kind of thought of structure. A little more brown. Little lines. See, they're just like little structures of like little thoughts of lines. you just kind of wonder about it a bit. Pulling that right there. So the vertical versus the horizontal really is impactful. Now I'm going to wipe this off, and I am going to dry this a little bit right now, okay? We're going to dry this just a little bit,
Okay.
put more white out, and kind of come in and create some more drama here. All right, that's fantastic. So we're going to come here and kind of create a little structure vertically if we can. I'm going to grab my sort of shadow color, maybe a little more blue into it that I have. I'm going to mix it up thoroughly, and then I'm going to lighten it quite a lot with this white. So I'll take just a small amount of it here. See how we're doing? I'm creating a much lighter bit of it. I want to run it on a bead on the side of my artist knife. And I'm going to make a vertical line. Going to make a vertical line pushing up. See how that's creating those? We're just creating some vertical lines here. They are interesting. My inclination is sometimes to do too many vertical lines because I get into a thing and I'm like, oh, that's lovely. I'll come across and do a horizontal a couple of times, creating that interesting little structure there. I'll go ahead and add some light. Right there. I'm going to wipe this off. Now I need to do a lot more of my yellow into this little orange here. Let's get some white into it. Just a little bit lighter than what was there. And maybe we'll peach it up. Kind of like a coral.
I like those little line things you made.
Aren't the lines fun? I'm going to pull that across here. And we can come here, be loaded on the right, and do a similar but reversed. See how we're doing it reversed?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Kind of little story there. This is when painting abstract gets real fun because you start finding little moments where you're like, I am having fun with this.
It is really fun. I like how it kind of constructs, and you can play with the negative space and stuff.
It's just a really enjoyable thing.
Negative space. What's that?
What's that? I'm going to come over here with a little bit of my white, and it's okay if some of the light yellow gets in it, but I really want my cad yellow. So I'm just bringing a touch of it over. When you compare it to the lemon yellow, it does seem like definitely oranger.
Yeah.
Though you never see that until you put it next to like a lemon yellow. I've got to figure out how I want to pull that into the world.
Scritch, scritch, scritch.
Scritch, scritch. All right, scratching it in. I like that a little bit stronger there. It does something kind of enjoyable that I like. I'll pull some of it down into that. And that questionable space there. Questionable space like it's under attack. It's like, I don't trust you, space.
We've never been there before. It's undiscovered country.
It is a bit, right? I'm going to bring a little more magenta into the brown mix that I have over here. Kind of as an interesting little variation on the story. My blue into it. But you know, the brown's there. Bring a little cascade down of them. A little more white. Got a little crazy with the white there. It is what it is. I want to kind of highlight those that I just put down in the angle. So I'm going to again load right side. Ah, perfect. Why is that perfect? Because the contrast creates that dynamic moment in what I'm having happen here.
Yeah.
Come across on the opposite end, marking little steps. Where they get a little bright, and I don't want it to be bright. I can come in and sort of work that. But I don't take it out because like sometimes moments like that are exactly what you've been trying to get to and you just didn't know you were. Thing. I think it's the last thing. I always think that on an acrylic, on an abstract painting, and then I'm like, nope, there's one more thing.
One more thing.
Just another light. I'm able to do this because my palette knife work, I'm coming in on the angle. I'm touching the paint, right? And I'm just letting it leave there. Much lighter over here. I'm going to load to the left. Kind of pulling that there. And then you kind of look at it like very like suspiciously.
Right.
Are you there yet? Do I trust you at this moment? You know, because that's the hardest thing to get to is do you trust it at this moment? I come in with this very bright orange because I've got it anyways, right? All right, just pulling that in. Capture that little edge there. There. That's what it is. I don't know why I was looking for that.
Fantastic.
But that's what I was looking for. So we have this very nice color story with this very nice kind of value story, like that feels like light. There's some structure and line here. The color is really enjoyable. You know, there's a little lyricism in the piece. I don't know. I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it a good thing. Now, again, normally you would not sign this because you would. Let me go big and I'll explain why. On an abstract like this, if you were to do this as a gift or for a friend, you would generally leave this unsigned or sign the back. But any signature somehow has a psychological impact on the collector or the buyer or the gift recipient to hang it the way that you visualized it. But with abstracts, a lot of times there's this sort of magic of moving it around and seeing if, you know, the painting, it's a different painting every time you shift it, right?
Really is.
So that's why I'm always talking about traditionally in abstract, you wouldn't necessarily sign the piece. So I probably will sign the back of this maybe. I don't know. I love signing my stuff. I tend to sign so people know it's me. And also nowadays with online stuff, it's good to have a signature. But that's the debate. I have friends that are collectors that will not buy an abstract piece if it is signed. Like, no matter how much they love it or think it's genius, they're just like, oh, it's a signature. Oh. So that's always and if you think about it, I get it because here's restful and here's restful. And where do I want to, and every mark becomes part of this composition because it's non-objective. I'm going to sign the back.
Sign the back?
I'm going to sign the back.
Okay.
I'm going to sign the back. I'm going to sign the back, you know, and then it's not like I can't prove I painted this. There's this record and publishing date and we register at the copyright office. Like, people know it's me.
Yeah.
They know. I'm not sneaking up on them. So you can sign or not sign as you see fit. I just like to talk about this stuff, especially when we're talking about really non-objective, super expressive, like abstract pieces like this that are just experiential, right? That you know, oh, hey, there's this whole signing controversy and it doesn't just come up and hit you sideways where you're like, what? What do you mean no signature? But you can totally do signature. It's totally up to you. All right. Now, hope you really love this. I love spending this time with you. I want you guys to check out all the resources. You know, we got the description below, but of course, you know, share on the Acrylic April group. Go by and make sure you're on the website. We have extra resources that you can partake in. You don't have to. You can do the program without them, but we've got, you know, the book. We've got the school, so you can go through the course as a course sequentially with extra bonuses and messages and weird things like that. And also you can buy these materials in the store if you wanted to, but you don't have to do that either. This is literally your daily painting process. So you do it how you want to do it. These videos are up for you to watch and you don't need to do an extra thing past that. Though it is nice if you like them and comment. And also if you see my stuff on your feed, you click it because it helps us show up in the algorithm. And then if you click something in the suggested that's mine, then it will suggest more of me to you. That's how it works. That's how you trick it. And then also don't click anything you don't want to see more of because you will see it all, like, not even out of fascination. I'm just warning you, like, where you're like, what is that crazy? And then you click it and then it's all you see all day. So, you know, click carefully, but definitely click me so you can see more of me. I want you guys to be good to yourselves and good to each other. And I'll see you at an easel really soon. Bye-bye.